just a Texan Spaniard living down in Southeast Texas. He took the mark out train heading anywhere. Just a Whole Foods gangster living down in Disney World. He took the mark out train to anywhere. They called this guy named Zeus, sitting up on Mount Olympus. They said, let's take this mark out train. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers marking out.
Yeah.
Having fun drinking Modelo. Don't stop. Mark it out. Mark out Mania.
Yeah. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
I feel like I'm in a bad episode of The Sopranos.
Marking out Mania.
Don't stop.
Out
Marking
DQs. Up and down the airwaves. Pedro, Jimmy, and Sue.
You know, first off, hola amigos, welcome everyone to the Mark Out Mania.
What is up, everyone?
I want to say real fast, Zeus wrote the lyrics for today's theme, so big props to Zeus. I only changed like one slight thing. I think.
Don't start marking out. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I was gonna say. I can't even remember what I was gonna say. I'm becoming an old man.
Meef in the chat. What's up, Meef?
Hola, Meef.
I was just I came up with that idea because I was just kind of like just listening to the radio, and there's one station that kind of plays like 70s to 80s and 90s stuff, and Don't Stop Believing came on, and I was like, oh, Don't Stop Marking Out. I'm like, there we go. So, I started shooting. I started coming up with the lyrics before I even told you guys, and then when I got to a place where I could stop at because I was making my deliveries, that's when I sent you the lyrics.
Zeus is doing the lyrics as he drives through the highways and byways of North Carolina.
Right. I remember what I was going to say was in the notes that Zeus had for these lyrics, he put guitar fill, and I was thinking, like, how am I going to play these chords and do the guitar fill at the same time? Like,
oh my God! Don't stop marking out. Yeah.
But
that was a good job. That was a good job.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, thank you, Zeus, for coming up with the lyrics.
Good job, Zeus.
Real quick, I think we need to make a very special birthday, happy birthday, don't we?
I believe so.
Happy birthday to Bean. I'm sorry.
The Bean?
Happy birthday to Bean. Happy birthday to Bean. Happy birthday to Bean.
Oh, happy birthday, Bean. I mean Zeus. I mean Bean. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
My birthday's in November, by the way.
I know.
And nobody gives a shit
we all remember your reaction to that. Oh my goodness.
Pedro drinking that he's drinking that funny Texas juice.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to start off today. I've got to say this because it's been bugging the shit out of me ever since.
Do it.
Yeah, we figured out what was going on. Okay, now this has been, we got New Japan coming to Charlotte, and I got my ticket, and thousands more people, we all got these, we all bought these tickets just because we knew New Japan was coming. We didn't know who was coming exactly. We just knew that they were coming. And, a lot of people, the hot popular theory was that since they were going to be in LA on Friday or on Thursday and then Charlotte on Friday, that, would be like half the roster at one, half the roster at the other. And, that was kind of the prevailing theory, which I was like, okay, cool. That's, that's plenty of amazing fucking people either way,
Right.
And so then, and as far as I know, they still haven't announced exactly who's going to be there yet. But so once more dates were announced for other cards, in between now and then, started happening, and then they announced who's going to be on the February 2nd show, which, of course, if you're up on international timelines like people like me are, if it starts at 4 p.m. in Japan, that is, like 4 a.m. Eastern time. So, on the day before in America. So, they've got a huge card in Sapporo on the 2nd that's got pretty much every single guy from Wrestle Kingdom, with the exception of the guys who are gone, Cody and the Bucks, and so what it looks like is basically all the guys from that 6-man challenge, and maybe Show and Yo, maybe, like I said, we got no confirmation. Maybe Liger, maybe Nagata, maybe Kojima, but probably Rocky Romero, Jeff Cobb. So in other words, the really big marquee stars are all in Japan, and all the champions except for Juice are already on that February 2nd card. I mean, it's a big, huge ass, amazing looking card, and so it feels like I was online and saw that the famous Riviera Steakhouse was coming to America, and you had to go ahead and book and pay for your dinner beforehand. And then when you get there and you say, "Hey, I'm here for the dinner," and they say, "Okay, well, we got some great cheeseburgers for you." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, this is the great Japanese steakhouse. Where are these great Japanese steaks? Oh, we left those all in Japan." I'm like, "But this is a steakhouse,
chicken nuggets.
This is what I feel. No, not chicken nuggets. I'm talking these are really great cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
right. I love all the guys that are coming. I mean, we got some great pieces of sushi. We got some really well aged old beef and things like that too. But I'm talking they're bringing no.
Hello.
Whoa.
Did we lose Zeus? His anger took him out. Oh my God!
The thunder struck his phone.
The thunder struck. You've been thunderstruck.
He was about to go nuts on New Japan, and then the thunder said,
what happened?
If Woody would have gone to the police, this would have never happened.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Are you okay?
Yeah. So apparently New Japan cut our feed.
Yeah, we said the thunder struck.
Pretty much. But I mean, it's I've made the decision that no matter who comes, I'm going to enjoy it. But yeah, Meef's right. Yakuza cut the line. But I'm going to enjoy who's coming. But at the same time, you kind of feel like, it's like.
Do you feel cheated?
I'm glad I didn't pay $100 for a ticket.
Right. And they still haven't announced the card yet.
No, not that I'm aware of. No.
And they got a show in LA too, right? The night before.
Yeah, the one in LA is the night before. So
the New Japan better come through.
Yeah, I like I said, I mean, if we get Ishii, if we get Goto, I mean, if we get Sho and Yo and Rocky and Jeff Cobb and best friends and stuff like that. I mean, I'm fine with that.
Right.
But also, I mean, I would have liked to have known beforehand.
Card subject to change.
Right. Well, I mean, there's no change because there's been no announcement. But but we absolutely know that all those guys that are going to be in Sapporo on the 2nd, it's physically impossible for them.
Yes.
To be, and there's a show in Nashville on the 2nd now too. They made a 3rd show, based on the strength of the ticket sales. So.
Oh, they're spreading their roster too thin?
No, it's just that, like I said, I think the having this great show in Sapporo, I think was a bad time to send to keep almost every everybody that they got.
Right.
Like I said, I mean, they have every champion is going to be on that Sapporo card, except for Juice.
As long as you don't get Zack Sabre Jr. as your main event, trust me, you'll be okay.
Him and Will Ospreay are going to be in England right now.
Yeah, you should stay there.
You don't like Brother Zach?
Oh my God!
No, that guy is useless. That guy is brutal. Okay, brutal. He's just brutal. I watched that match again last night. Oh my God, man! With him and Ishii.
Yeah.
I was so upset. I was so upset at Ishii for jobbing to that idiot, man. I was pissed. I was like, why?
That Ospreay.
And those are the weakest looking foot strikes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Zack Sabre Jr., as we talked last week, is like...
And he no-sold the superplex from the top rope. What kind of shit is that?
Selling is a big problem for him in general, though. Like, people have been complaining about this for a while. He just doesn't sell. I don't know why.
Horrible.
But
who fucking thinks he is? Bruiser Brody?
Will Ospreay, watching that finish to the match against Ibushi again last night on Access.
Match was insane.
Yeah, that match is crazy. It's a good match, but when you watch that that elbow to the back of the head, it's like so weird because like his idea was the idea is his elbow's gonna skim over the top of Ibushi's head, like to make his hair move, and then while he's slapping, his thigh or his butt or whatever to make the noise. But like he miscalculates, and you just see it like even the replay. He's just like blasting him in the back of the head. It's like so brutal. Like
he pushed him with like, "Motherfucker, you owe me dinner for the next month."
Meef says he's a giraffe.
Yeah,
he's a giraffe. Yeah, right, Meef. I'm telling you, man.
That's a pretty apt comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, he's horrible, right? He's brutal. He's brutal. He's fucking brutal, man. He should stay over. He should stay where he's at. Him and that fake bullshit belt. But don't come to any shows in the United States. Don't do that. Just don't.
The fake bullshit belt. You're trashing even the belt.
Yeah, man, the belt looks shitty. I'm like,
oh shit! Oh my god!
Come on. It was like, come on, man. Come on, man. It's a brutal championship. It doesn't mean anything. It's horrible. It sucks.
Oh my god.
I'm really disappointed in New Japan for that match. It was horrible. Horrible.
Oh my god.
Well, like I said, I'm. You know, the whole Suzuki Gun thing where they've jumped on LIJ, and you know, so now we got these big multi-person matches, and you know, so it's just some, you know, it's just some really, you know, it's things are at least changing, which is I think is good, but once again, I think we got kind of, you know, you know, I think we got kind of like a static card, you know.
No.
Unless
That's a lot
like
of spreading themselves a lot too thin because you're going to LA the night before, and Tennessee, and now and North Carolina. I mean, that's tough to pull off, man. And you got to show Sapporo, you said, right? I mean, that's really tough to pull off.
Well, that's the whole thing, though. Is there? I think they're going to be using ROH equipment.
Gotcha.
Okay. I think they're bringing over minimal stuff. I don't think they're going to have to bring any camera equipment or anything like that, any production stuff. I think they're going to just piggyback off of Ring of Honor because they're not running shows that week. And so I think that they're gonna work with New Japan and help get this, you know, the filming and you know, having the ring and, you know, a lot of things they're going to help have that done. And, you know, and then because I expect more Ring of Honor guys on the card, which is almost like going to that steakhouse and saying, hey, we also have some nice cheeseburgers from another restaurant. And I'm like, motherfucker. Well, enough with the cheeseburgers. I'm full. I didn't come here to eat cheeseburgers.
I mean,
but anyway.
With what you're saying, Zeus, that Ring of Honor show in Concord over this weekend, a lot of the same people are going to be there. Like a lot of the New Japan people you're going to see are going to be on that show.
Right, and once again with the snow and ice and everything.
Yeah.
but I mean, but that's the whole idea with that working agreement, and it, like we said, also it's you know a vast majority of those guys that were in that 6-man gauntlet match.
Yeah.
You know, Finley, Jeff Cobb, Killer Elite Squad. I'm not saying that these aren't good cheeseburgers. These are good cheeseburgers. Okay,
Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah, he's got Canadian bacon on it. Okay. All right, you know, and then we got the big Hawaiian burger, you know, from Big Kahuna Burger. You know, hopefully Jeff Cobb will be there. If I get to meet Jeff Cobb, I will have met every Lucha Underground champion except for Sexy Star. So. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, you know, it'd be interesting to see because, you know, I think they're just kind of, you know, checking, you know, just waiting till the very last minute. But, you know, maybe we'll get a good, you know, Japanese opponent for Juice because that they're going to make that U.S. belt the main event. Most likely.
Yeah. I hope. I just hope Juice don't wear something ridiculous. It's brutal.
The one spoiler ahead of time, James. Juice Robinson will wear garish gear. Yes.
Yeah, brutal. Well, you know, I mean, you know, because actually speaking of New Japan, depending who you talk to, it's been a rough week or it's been good news for them. Yeah, because everybody's signing with AEW, even the boss of New Japan said, "Oh, it's never been better here." I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, is it opening the door for new talent, or is like everybody leaving a bad thing for them?
Well, I think that. Because apparently what I've read is that New Japan is now open to working with All Elite after initially saying they weren't going to. So
yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
So you know, New Japan, you know, as much as, I mean, I know they want to keep working with Kenny, because he's hugely popular, and I think he's, if he goes to All In and they don't work with, and they turn out not to work with New Japan, I think that would be the biggest loss. I think they're fine without Cody. I think they're fine without Young Bucks.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, I just, you know.
My understanding is New Japan has to wait for that Madison Square Garden show to be over and done
before they can announce that they're
because there's that MSG show is with Ring of Honor. It's a code,
right.
So they can't sever ties with Ring of Honor until that show is over.
And I don't know that they would want to.
I was just about to say the same thing. I don't know if that's a good idea. You know,
well,
because I mean, if, you know, go ahead, James. Sorry,
no, that's Pedro.
Oh, I was just gonna say the Ring of Honor and the All Elite are not, you know, happy with each other. So,
and I get that, but once again, you've got equipment in place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the great thing about the working agreement that they've been, you know, that they've been doing is, you know, it's just like, you know, All In, you know, they did that with all the, you know, that was all done with Ring of Honor's equipment, ring, and, you know, production staff, you know. So who knows? I know that there's some bad blood there and whatever, but
you know, because I think it behooves both of them to continue this working relationship. Because I don't think that Garden show would actually work if it was just Ring of Honor or if it was just New Japan.
right.
Because you know, I think it worked only because it's a combined show. You know, so I you know, I think it's a mistake if they disband their working relationship. I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, especially now because you have AEW and come on, because you know all of us saw all the highlights from Jacksonville. You know, yeah, Chris Jericho coming out to the pyro and Pac. Hello, I mean, I was like, oh shit, look at Neville. You know, and you know him, Hangman Pace, and you know everybody was there. You know, and you know, let's say Jim Ross is going to be a part of AEW now, and this, that, and so I think it behooves them to keep the working relationship going. But that's just me. You know?
Hey, welcome to the chat, Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Lewis? What's going on,
man? It's nice to see you here, buddy. I see you all the time on Twitter.
How you doing, Lewis? How you doing?
Good. But yeah, I mean, so, like I said, you know, it's like, I don't care if it's an ugly puppy, you know, it's still going to be a puppy, and I'm going to love it anyway. I mean, I do. There are a ton of guys I'd like to see. I'm anxious to see, you know, Show and Yo and you know, because I swear they're just, every time I watch them, it's like watching the Fantastics. There's and the fact that
that's
I'm
high
sure
praise, Zeus.
I don't know, and I really don't think that I would be willing to bet that neither one of them have ever seen a Fantastics match. You know, I mean, I think it's just been that, you know, that organic type of you know, it's like, you know, just trying to be, you know, that kind of a baby face, you know, good looking, you know, young guys and you know, kind of like old fashioned fan favor. I think there is some of that, you know, that they might be fans. I don't know. I'd love to ask them. Because like I said, you know, it's just like, you know, their big nemesis, you know, is Kanemaru and Desperado, and those guys are straight out of 1985.
I love Desperado. He's awesome. He is. He's exactly out of 1985.
And he's wrestling in Fantastic Mania. What's the other name again, Pedro?
Namahake, I think was what he was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been an interesting week for because I forgot where I read it, but I heard that the Young Bucks turned down a ridiculous contract from WWE. Ridiculous.
Yeah, them and Cody. They're saying now that Omega did too.
I heard it had a 6 month.
Yeah,
they had a 6 month out. They didn't like the character direction. All kinds of shit. I heard it was 7 figures. It was like ridiculous.
And they supposedly they offered Hangman Page like regular WWE salary, even though he would have been on NXT.
Right? Yeah. They would.
They definitely want to put a hurt on the beginning of this All Elite thing. They definitely don't want it to start.
If I know there's a lot of ego involved and shit like that, but at this point in the game, if I'm Vince McMahon and Triple H, everybody's numbers are down. All SmackDown viewership, Raw viewership, everything is down. Yeah. I can't find Lucha Underground on El Rey because who knows if there's going to be a fucking season 5, right? So if I'm Vince McMahon and Triple H, I'll put the ego aside and say, how about if we do something that's best for the entire business so this way we can get all eyes on all of us, have a little something with AEW,
But that's absolutely never been their calling card.
I understand that, but they did it once with ECW back towards the Attitude Era. And you know what? It could work again.
Well, but that was cultivating up and comers, young guys and old retired guys. That was not taking like
hot guys.
Right. That wasn't taking like, a 1996 or 97 Booker T and Benoit and guys that were going to change the game,
right.
And elevating that company. I mean, because that was the thing with ECW. It was destined to be in that niche because of the violence, because of that ultra violence, and the blood and everything. They knew that was not going to get mainstream, but Cody and the Young Bucks, they're showing that they are hot. They are right now, and they are, right there near the mainstream, and they're
are they really near the mainstream?
Near.
They could have had SmackDown showed up at the Jacksonville thing, because the whole thing with the T-shirts, they could have played on that big time, and all eyes would have been on them. And I agree with Lewis in the chat. What if WWE announced a show in Vegas at the same time AEW has theirs? They could really build this up, but it's ego involved, and it's all money involved. But it can be done. I mean, it doesn't have to be drastic and all intertwined. All you got to do is subtly here and there, I mean, it was a great play to play on those T-shirts, I'm not letting you into SmackDown there because, you can't wear the AEW merch. That was you got a built-in storyline right there to start with.
It turns out that was all faked, right?
Yeah, it was false. Yeah. After it was reported true at first.
Right, but then there's pictures of people with
were
the
claiming
shirts,
it, and then
there's all these pictures of people with shirts in the crowd. So
but the built-in storyline is right there.
Yeah, and they never done that before, but still, I mean, there's definitely, I mean, and people are like complaining. It's like, why can't we watch everything? Why can't? Well, because shut up. That's why. Because I don't like WWE. I've tried watching. I've tried watching it, man. When
Zeus, because I actually watched an entire Raw this past Monday for the first time.
Oh, really?
Only because it was from Orlando. Right, because
Oh yeah,
it was from Orlando, so I wanted to see if the arena was full and this, that, and the third. I sat through 3 hours of fucking cringe-worthy bullshit. I almost I could have been gargling glass. I would have been better. It was horrible. I'd rather see Lex Luger fucking versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh my god!
Okay,
What?
that would have been a match I'd rather watch because this
What?
Raw was absolutely horrible. I was like, who booked this shit? This is garbage. Yeah, but then at the same time, I'll watch NXT and I'll be like, who booked this? This is amazing. And it's hard to fathom that the same company has two completely different philosophies. You know, it's weird.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
I
will never watch a whole Raw again. It was horrible. Sorry.
On the WWE trying to sign Cody and the Bucks to like kind of prevent this from starting up. I think it's less about say they're worried about competition and more they just don't want any opposition.
They want all eyes on WWE, all the available eyes on WWE. Because that's all it is about. Yeah,
they've been for nearly 2 decades now since the demise of WCW. They've had kind of carte blanche to create the pop culture branding of pro wrestling is WWE.
Right. Yeah, the brainwashing and the
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked at what they've done in England and the UK?
I've heard they're opening a performance center there.
Yeah. I'm
talking about NXT Australia as well.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen what they did with like the NXT UK contracts?
They have a UK pay-per-view tonight, don't they, Pedro?
Do what now?
They have an NXT UK takeover tonight, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. But the NXT UK contracts, they've made it where the people on them, they can wrestle other shows, but now it has to be shows approved by the WWE with booking approved by the WWE. So they can't just wrestle anywhere.
Approve their booking? That's horrible.
And, there's talks that they want to do like an NXT Europe and stuff like that. So they want to shut down. Part of the reason they started the NXT UK thing is because...
Hold on, time out. I like Lewis already. I love this guy. Never liked Lex. Yes, thank you. Lex Luger, absolutely. Lex Luger. Hey, Lewis. Lex Luger absolutely sucks huge donkey dick. He is horrible. He is weak. He is overrated. He should have never, and I mean ever, been booked to win any match in the history of WCW. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the thing about the NXT UK, the reason that it exists is because World of Sport started having that thing about 2 years ago saying we're going to come back. And WWE was comfortable being like the only wrestling on TV in England, even though there was other promotions around. They're the only one with consistent TV in that market. And now they're like, we got to shut the scene down, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because they don't want any other TV but them, like anywhere, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's definitely getting cutthroat. I mean, it's. Yeah, and it's like you can go like, you can go like WWE, and you can like All Elite, and you can like CMLL, AAA, whatever, but. Don't cry to me about me not liking me picking one or the over the other, because pretty much I'll pick over anything over WWE right now.
Yeah, me too.
There's a whole lot of nothing. I mean, and oh my God, the amount of content on the New Japan site is just it's mind-boggling. I mean, like I said, they've got the last 18 years of the January 4th Tokyo Dome shows. All matches. I mean, that's a ton of content.
Yeah, so, imagine, man. Jesus. A lot of stuff.
For less than $10 a month for that, I'm like, I'll be fine until, Lucha Underground comes back around. But
do you think AEW is going to work?
Yes. I think it's just going to take some time.
Or is it going to be another Impact?
It depends on your expectations. Is your expectation that this is going to be a WCW sized competition for the WWE, or is your expectation that All In audience, which is a very niche hardcore wrestling audience, do you just expect it to be that audience for that thing? Because this is two different conversations in a way.
That's a good point, Pedro. I'll put it to you like this. I don't want another WCW. I don't need another head-on competition because I don't need WWE Light again. Okay? Because I want an actual viable alternative. AEW could be that. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to watch another pseudo WWE wrestling show because that's what WCW turned into, unfortunately. You know,
well, and once again, that was Bischoff's. Bischoff, he came to the conclusion that if WWF wasn't going to use Hogan, that they would,
right,
and that they would push him right back to the top and grab all those Hulkamaniacs who were 7 years old watching WrestleMania 3 that were now 17. And they were like, well, let's just bring him in. And we got all these kids, they're in high school and they're going to see Hogan somewhere new. And we're going to put him right up there at the top and make him, make Hulkamania run wild in WCW. And we're going to make that work. And that's not what All In is. They don't have anybody like that. Right. I mean, Jericho is not. He's not he's a huge wrestling name, but he's never been in movies or late night TV shows or, he's not as big a star as Hogan ever was, so, and he's their biggest star. And are they going to push him to the top? No, of course not. So it's gotta be something different. It's definitely not going to be WCW.
Yeah, I saw people this week with the they're waiting for that rally, that All Elite Wrestling rally.
Yeah.
So they were with expectation. They were expecting like names like Goldberg and CM Punk to be announced and shit like that.
See, I don't want them to go that route. I personally don't want them to go that route.
But a lot of people were hearing the money involved, and they're thinking, "Oh, they're gonna get names like this. It's gonna bring the casuals in and bullshit like that." And it's like, but that's not what this has been. This has been that like kind of indie New Japan audience growing, but they're not like that audience size is not comparable to the WWE's audience size. This is why I bring up the expectations. What are people's expectations for success? Like, what is their definition? Because I don't think this audience is going to be as big as some people envision it to be.
Okay, I'll put it to you like this. I don't want it to turn into another Impact. Because Impact has a whole bunch of people that I want to see. Okay? But, let's be real. All right? Johnny Impact is not Johnny Mundo.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay? Right. I mean, I'm sorry, but Cage is not Cage the Machine. It's totally different. Okay? Because Cage in fucking Lucha Underground is the man, and Cage on Impact sucks dick. Okay? I don't like the way they're booked. I don't like the production. See, I don't want something like that. I don't want AEW to turn into another Impact where you have all these great established wrestlers and some hot up-and-comers, and it's booked and the feel and the look is like, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Well, we got guys that should have a good idea on how to book things.
Right.
That's
I want to see Cody. I don't want to see Stardust.
Oh well, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, you're not going to see Stardust.
Yeah, I know, but you guys get the point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't see Seven's little brother either.
No, thank you. That was brutal.
Yeah. So, but I mean, and literally, and WCW grew out of Georgia and Jim Crockett and Florida and all that great Southern wrestling, you had a huge, you had a huge thing to build on that you completely and utterly destroyed when you brought in Hogan and all of Hogan's buddies into WCW. And I tell you, that turned me off of WCW. And, when they did that, I was like, and especially when they put Hogan over Vader, like, clean, nothing.
Well,
no
you knew that was going to happen.
But no, I didn't know that was going to happen because Sting went over. Vader went over Sting clean, and I was like, Sting is better than Hogan.
Yeah, because Sting and Vader do business. Hogan's ego is too large. His narcissism won't allow him to do proper business. Okay.
Well, plus, Bischoff was in that camp.
That's another problem. Yes, I agree.
Right. Everything that it's like that whole idea that and once again, what we have to do is remember is that we're looking back on the way it looked. Okay, I don't know exactly how people felt behind the scenes. I'm not trying to say.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
But you get accused of that a lot. Right. It's like, well, you don't really know what happened. It's like, this is what really happened. It's like, okay, well, you said in this shoot interview that didn't happen. You said in your book that something else happened. It's like, you don't even remember what happened. Okay. But I remember how it felt. And I remember things that happened on the show. Exactly. So, and we know from interviews that, from, stuff like the Rise and Fall, whatever, that, it absolutely was Bischoff wanting, to try and run Vince out of business because of he was mad at Vince supposedly killing off the AWA. And honestly, if you look at the AWA, it's a miracle that shit lasted as long as it did. I mean, it's like how if you said to somebody right now, that if you could get a pro wrestling show with a primetime slot on ESPN and reruns during the week in the afternoons, do you think that would fail? How would you get
absolutely
that to fail?
Not. Absolutely not. I think that would be a success, automatic.
But they had guys like, Larry Zbyszko as the champion, who was
Buck Zumhoff.
Well, Buck Zumhoff never won the AWA title.
No, I know, but he was there.
Right, and then like Jerry Lawler, he was not, while he was in the AWA as AWA champion, he was never really a Minnesota guy.
No. Yeah.
Right? Henning was, but then Henning left for more money. That was the problem is the AWA ran out of money. They ran out of fans, and they were relying on incredibly bad choices to be there.
And Bockwinkel got old too, because he was the staple for all those years.
Greg Gagne got old, and not better. They had Brad Rangans and Ken Patera as tag champs there at the end.
That was horrible.
They were just so old. If you take like 1978 Ken Patera, he was amazing, but not 1988. He was
no, he wasn't.
He was worn down by that point, and Brad Rangans was not bad, but just once again, you got. After the Road Warriors were gone, it's like the Road Warriors and Freebirds left AWA. It's like that was a slowly sinking ship that was not going to do anything but go down. And you can't blame Vince on that. If guys are going to leave for more money, and some of them left to go to WCW, so it's like it's like I don't know exactly what the vendetta really was from Bischoff. All that talk, because he really was. When they were doing stuff like giving spoilers to pre-recorded Raw. That was shitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That
but
was
he doesn't
shit.
have a problem with it. He doesn't have a problem with it, but it was shitty.
Yeah, if it wasn't for a court order, they'd have done it until they went live.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, I mean, even when I was a huge WCW fan, I was like, this is shitty.
Yeah.
So as that, we don't have people with those kind of warped mission statements leading this all in wrestling. I think these guys want to build a federation. It's going to take some time, but they want to bring in their friends, and it obviously looks like that Hangman and Pac are going to be the two top guys.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because it's interesting what Chris Jericho said too, because he said that he wouldn't have signed if they didn't have a huge TV deal in the making.
Right.
So hopefully it's a TBS TNT type of thing, and not no outlaw channel like fucking Pursuit or some bullshit that we never heard of.
Right.
Did y'all see the most recent Being the Elite episode?
No, I haven't seen it.
No,
I heard it was.
No, I haven't seen it.
So they had
like emotional.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was emotional. I guess it could be to some people, but
well, there was a lot of fangirls crying.
Yeah, well, they had a whole deal around the Tokyo Dome show, and they were doing a lot of skits and stuff. And there is a thing where Marty Scurll and Kenny Omega are doing like a New Year's party while everyone else is signing their All Elite Wrestling contracts and stuff. And there's Marty Scurll is doing this bit where he doesn't know anything about All Elite Wrestling. He's just
I heard that. Yeah,
he doesn't know what it is, and everyone's just like leaving him behind and stuff. And they had a whole deal with him like all by himself with all this sad piano music. But
I feel bad for him. He is all by himself in New Japan now, right? That's it. Everybody's gone.
But what I was
Ring of Honor, his New Japan contract's up.
Well, the thing I want to get at, there's a bit where Kenny Omega was saying like, everyone's cell phone has like a timer for when they're supposed to sign their contract, but I can't find my phone. I lost it. And then at the end of the episode, they like, it looks like they're going to a thing like, did you like the video? Subscribe for more. And then they stop that and they go to this thing where this camera is walking near the Tokyo Dome and going past all these people. And it goes to this spot in the grass, and you see a cell phone sitting on the grass. And you hear it like a timer. And the idea is like that's Kenny Omega's cell phone that he lost.
Right.
The timer. I remember that everyone who's going to sign a contract, they have a timer on there.
Yeah, there's also there's a picture of Marty Scurll sitting in front of a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
with three empty rocking chairs.
Yeah.
And even Cracker Barrel itself was like commenting on it. They were like, "We feel so bad for you. You're never alone, but if you're going to be alone, there's no better place to be than a Cracker Barrel."
Oh, that's hot. Okay, what's up with Kenny Omega? Is he really going to sign with WWE? Is he not? Is he going to sign with All Elite? Is he not?
I mean, the rumor is he's going with All Elite.
Yeah, I think he is.
Shout out to Angie. Hola, Angie.
Hey, Angie, you missed a great song, Angie.
No.
Watch that song.
No, don't listen to the intro, Angie.
You got to listen to it, Angie.
Angie, what's up, hon? How you doing? Yeah, it's a great song. You got to listen to it.
Don't do that to her.
Yeah, he's still he's still under contract to Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
right.
I'll get to see him.
I think for another year or two, as a matter of fact.
Is it that long, really?
I think it's at least for another year.
I think it's at least one more year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
See, I saw highlights of the rally in Jacksonville. It was good. I enjoyed it, man. It was kind of cool because it felt like it brought energy. I was like, this thing could work, to me, it's all about the booking. It's all about the booking and the presentation. Because all you have to do is look no farther than Impact. You see, you have all the talent in the world, and they fuck it up. Okay,
It's
so
the same with WWE. I could watch WWE if it wasn't so fucking stupid.
Right, yeah, exactly. I'm not even going to tell you the whole Braun Strowman, the whole Braun Strowman with this idiot,
And
fucking Brock Lesnar. Oh my god, that was
and
5 minutes
you,
of my life I never get back. Okay, I'd rather have another heart attack than watch that shit.
No, don't
That
say
was
that.
brutal.
Don't say that, James.
No, but Pedro, that's how bad it was.
let's look at something else here.
Okay.
Another historical problem with WWF, WWE is that over investing in gigantic fucking guys who are just big and not really good is a huge problem, because when you got all these athletic guys like they do, and it's like, well, what happened to Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar? Well, who gives a fuck?
Well, you know what though, Zeus? Braun Strowman was legit and super over for a while there, like crazy, stupid over.
He was being pushed over. He was working it over. But what I'm saying is, I mean, especially like where Brock is concerned, and some of the and guys in years past, you know, Kali, and I mean, it just had a ton of guys over the years who were just fucking big and not good. And then it's like, you know, it's like, oh well, they're gone now. Well, what do we do? I don't know.
Okay, well, I got a question for you, Zeus.
Let's have Samoa Joe grow broccoli on his fucking head. And,
that's hot. I got a question for both Zeus and Pedro. Okay. Now, we just established WWE has a shitload of talent, but it's horrible. It's horrible. Bad television, bad booking, bad wrestling. It's horrible. Yeah. Who are the guys from the WWE who do you think could leave and make a huge impact in AEW the same way Cody left and made a huge impact on the indie scene? I think Dolph Ziggler would be he'd be up there.
Yeah, I mean Ziggler could. I mean, Zack Ryder could do something if he was booked right. Yeah. I mean, he's an athletic guy, and he's people like him. I mean, he's been when he's booked right, he's been popular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I would like to see the Usos leave the WWE and go to, because they'd be an awesome tag team in AEW. Because if those guys could go,
they're not bad.
But they're handcuffed in WWE.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, James.
No,
I mean Pedro.
Oh,
what do you see anybody jumping ship?
Oh, I think it's going to be a wait and see thing. People are going to wait to see if AEW really takes off and how it does before they consider that option.
Yeah, I would love to see the revival.
I mean, the thing is it's when the contract comes up. I mean, and guys will have to make a decision.
How bad does Gallows and Anderson want to be there right now?
Yeah, I imagine they want to leave.
Yeah.
If I was someone like Cesaro,
a ridiculous amount of money.
If I was Cesaro, I would want to go try it out.
Because he would be amazing.
He's so good, but I mean, he can't get a push.
And I don't like Sami Zayn, but I think that he would do well in All In, especially with WWE keep taking this Saudi money, for the next how many years they got a deal.
Don't you mean blood money? Don't you mean blood money, Zeus?
Yeah, blood and oil money. I mean, that's. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know everybody's kind of done it, but I mean, it really. I mean, it
the next 20 years, I think, right?
I think it's 10, maybe, but
10 years,
I'm not sure. It might be 20 events over 10 years.
Yeah, that's what it is. Something like that. Yeah.
Lewis mentioned the Revival. The Revival would be good because they're a really good tag team.
How about Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, they're and I mean, they're friends with the Bucks and Cody and all them, right?
Yeah.
So,
Because I can see Bray Wyatt going there. Because he could lose the gimmick and be somebody.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Once again, some of these guys, like somebody like him, because he would have to really start thinking about what he's going to do, because they're gonna clamp down on that character aspect, like, so he would,
But he could reinvent himself to something similar. I mean, he doesn't have to be that same type of character because he can wrestle. He could definitely change it up. He could switch it up. He has it in him. He's charismatic. Yeah. He has it in him.
I feel he's a bit of damaged goods, personally, but I don't know.
Plus, yeah. I mean, if he's still attached to JoJo, that's not gonna.
Yeah. Damn, Zeus. I'm not leaving if I'm taking my cheating girlfriend with me. Yeah, brutal. Oh.
Yeah.
JoJo.
Well, I mean, Lewis said it would look bad to have ex-WWE mid-carders, but as champions. Yeah, but yeah.
I don't think that. I don't think it could be.
I mean, if you remember Monday Night Wars, he
made a great NWA World Champion, and he put the NWA belt back on the map. No disrespect to Nick Aldis, but everybody knew when Cody held the belt. Everybody knew,
right?
He's the NWA champ. So I think it could work if you had the right performer.
I think James, you're on the right track here. It has to be someone that they feel deserved a push in the WWE but wasn't given it. And then when they're given the proper treatment, that people would feel, I could see that getting over with that fan base. But
yeah. And he was talking about Sami Zayn, Zeus. There you go. Yeah, the same thing. He would be a great heel.
Yeah, and he just, like I said, I think he's feeling this, this almost like persecution from this, this whole Saudi thing.
Yeah,
and it's just that I don't think that affects anybody as adversely as it does him. And like I said, I'm not a fan of his, but I mean he is a good wrestler.
He is.
Who knows? I mean, the total, the benefits and the losses of being there and having that, steady paycheck that I'm sure that they know. It's like, you go to All In or All Elite and you don't know exactly how long, how long they're, as long as they're in for the long haul, if they sign a 10-year television deal with a TNT or TBS or something, or even if it is that Tuesday spot on USA, I mean, that would be the kind of stability where people would say, okay, well, yeah, that's somewhere I could go to.
Yeah, true. Because I can see somebody like Austin Aries heading to All Elite. Because I can see somebody like that.
No,
even though he's got issues, Listen, guys. I know he's got issues, lots of issues and problems. But all bullshit aside, man, the man in the ring could go.
Yeah,
I think him and Pac could reunite that feud, and it'd be money if it's booked correctly. I know about his issues. He's an asshole, but it could draw eyes. It can.
He's almost entering low-key territory, in my opinion.
No, he's not that bad.
Oh, I don't know.
He's not that bad. I mean, Loki's like, I mean, come on, man. If you're going to say Loki, then even lower than Loki's Teddy Hart.
Oh, my God. That's true.
So, they're definitely ways to go on that ladder.
They're both in MLW. Teddy Hart and Loki are both in MLW.
Yeah, that's right. They are. Brutal. Did you see that issue interview with Teddy Hart? He said The Rock stole the spotlight. You got to be shitting me.
Oh God, he's a nut.
That guy, fucking Teddy Hart's a walking advertisement for modern pharmaceuticals. He's a walking advertisement for modern pharmaceuticals. That guy is something wrong with him, man. He's delusional. He's delusional.
Did either of you watch any of Impact last night?
No,
I was out, man. I was tired.
I refuse.
That also doesn't help. Is being starting at 10. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it is a weird time.
And the Pursuit channel, really?
What'd you think?
I watched it on TV on the Pursuit. I did check in on Twitch just to see what the numbers were. At one point when I checked in, it was like they had over 10,000 people watching on Twitch. So I don't know if that's good or not. Number-wise.
It's a decent number for Twitch, but but in the overall scheme of things, that's not really a big number of people watching your product.
Yeah, 11, 12,000. I mean, it's
not.
That's probably twice as many people that watched it on Pursuit.
In terms of what I saw, they had a great video package at the beginning, detailing that pay-per-view they just had. That looked really great. The look of that video package was really great, and I was like, oh, maybe they upped production and stuff. And then the show starts, and it's the same Impact production, and you're like, oh fuck. But,
it's sad. It's because they have all the talent in the world that I would pay money to see in a heartbeat. But no, they're uninspiring.
They opened the show with like an in-ring, segment with Johnny Mundo and Cage and Killer Cross and all this stuff.
Did you say last night that Scott Steiner was there?
Oh my God! Okay, so Scarlett Bordeaux's been doing this thing where she's trying to recruit someone that she's going to be a manager of.
Oh.
And so she came out to the ring and she announced that the next week she's going to announce who she picks, and that tonight she was going to celebrate and she was going to show everyone the full smoke show or whatever. Like she was saying she was going to strip, basically she's going to get naked.
Oh my God. You are not kimono want to live. Go ahead.
And then this tag team came out. I can't remember what they're called. And they're like telling her, not to do it, to wait, to next week to choose them and do it privately. And then Scott Steiner comes out. He's in jeans, a jacket. He's got the metal chainmail thing on his head. He's moving really bad. He even brings up how badly he's moving. He says, "Yeah, I got a little limp in my walk and this." And then he proceeds to beat up both guys and put them both in the camel clutch and all that. And then
the Steiner recliner.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so then Scarlett Bordeaux does her thing where she does kind of a dance, and then she opens her little robe and she's just in like lingerie or whatever, and then she walks out. And,
yeah. And this is why I don't watch Impact.
But now, aside from that,
who the hell wants to see Scott Steiner broke ass hobble to the ring and cut a shitty promo? Nobody.
But aside from that, the Lucha Bros had a really good match with Desmond Xavier, and I can't remember the other Desmond Xavier's partner's name. They had a really good match. It seemed like Mundo and Killer Cross had some kind of no DQ match. It seemed pretty good. The match seemed pretty good. Killer Cross was put over real big, I felt. And then Tessa Blanchard was on. And I bring her up because there's a lot of people want to see her go to AEW to head their women's division. And the one thing about her, she looks like...
Is she doing the women's of wrestling now?
Yeah, she is going to be on... Which starts on Friday, the 18th.
Yeah.
But Tessa, she comes off like a total star. Like a total star on...
Well, she's awesome, man. I like Tessa. She's good. But,
Scarlett's teaming with Killer Cross in AAA. So a lot of people are saying that she's gonna end up with Killer. Nobody's expecting it.
I am so lost with Impact storyline, so I have no clue what's going on with that company.
I mean,
I just turned it on one day to watch because because my brother's a huge Impact fan. Why? I have no idea. So like every time I go to his house, he forces me to sit there and watches all the Impact as he catches up. So I'm sitting there watching this shit, and like I'm berating him. I'm like, Rob, why the hell are you watching this crap? Well, you could be watching All Japan or Ring of Honor and shit like that. Why are you watching this? And he's like, I don't know. It sucks, but I like it. I'm like, oh my God. So it was like even people who like it know it sucks.
It's interesting that they exist in this weird spot where they just put out a mediocre product that tries to be like these light versions of everything else. They're sort of aping the WWE, and then they're also trying to sort of ape Lucha Underground, and they're trying to sort of ape all these other things.
It's like drinking non-alcoholic beer. No, I don't want non-alcoholic beer. Either you give me a fucking Modelo or Stella, or I'll drink a water. Thank you. No, it doesn't impact to me. It's like non-alcoholic beer. That's like being with a hooker who only wants to cuddle. Like, no, just like get off my TV.
Oh my goodness.
It's hard.
Oh my goodness,
James.
It's just hard.
That escalated quickly.
I get very intense over shit. Like, you have the money, you have the time slot, you have the incredible talent, you have good wrestling minds surrounding you. You have people who know how to write storylines and book matches. Yet, when you put it all together, the production values absolutely blow. Okay, I can go in my backyard right now with my phone and make a better fucking production than Impact does. It's horrible. And like the matches on TV are all lackluster. The promos suck. Everything looks like it's been overdone. All the spots are weak. Everything's done in half speed. It just doesn't look right. Hence, I get disinterested. Hence, I don't want to see the great talent now. Because if it's not presented to me in a way that I'm interested in, I don't want to watch the match. I don't care who's wrestling. Because if you're going to do it half-assed, then I don't want to watch. I'd rather give my money or my time to a company who's willing to go the extra mile. If you have the talent, let them do what they do best. If you have the money, invest it in the top production quality. Invest it in good ring. Invest it in good arenas, in good lighting, etc., etc., etc. That's all I'm saying. So I get pissed.
No. So I get.
That's what happens when I don't drink my Modelo in the morning. See what happened?
Oh my God! Someone get this man a Modelo.
Give me a beer, stat.
Well, I want to mention real quickly. This week, I watched some CMLL with Bean, with my Lucha Hermano Bean, and I just want to once again wish Bean a happy birthday. So everyone,
happy birthday, Bean!
On Twitter and wherever else, let Bean know happy birthday.
What's up, Zero? You got Zero hanging in the chat.
Yeah, he wants us to talk hookers with him when he's on.
No. Zero.
X-Men, mutants, and hookers.
He is not to be trusted on a live mic. We are giving him way too much leeway. Just ideas make he makes me nervous.
Oh my God! X-Men, mutants, and hookers. Yeah, that'll be a great episode. Good job, Pedro. Jean Grey. Oh, I lost my power. What I do now?
No,
I know. I'll hook.
No.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That's brutal. Well, okay. You know what? All joking aside, I hope AEW actually succeeds. I hope they lock down a good TV deal. I hope they learn from watching other productions from other companies. I hope they learn from watching their successes and their mistakes, and they wrap it into one nice, viable presentation that we all could enjoy. That's what I'm hoping for from AEW.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
You know, so well, you know,
Yeah,
all jokes aside.
Like I said, I would watch the damn I'd watch WWE if it was good.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. Zero says, I'll make you a deal, Zeus. When I come on the show, I'm gonna find you and read you some X-Men erotic fan fiction on here.
No.
No.
You're not.
No. Hey, speaking of erotic fan fiction,
Here we go.
This is insane to me, okay? This is totally insane to me. This has nothing to do with wrestling. Nothing to do with wrestling. But it's insane to me that there was one franchise already, the 50 Shades of whatever series.
Well, the 50 Shades books,
that was based off of erotic fan fiction. Like those books started out as erotic fan fiction of the Twilight. The Twilight bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it started off. You can look this up. That's how that thing started out. It started out it's erotic fan fiction of Twilight.
Well, those are no stories that should
make that any suck.
I mean, like, actually go back to even before that, where like, who was that guy's name? He used to be on the cover of all those books.
Fabio.
Like that was the big thing back then, wasn't it? You know.
Yeah,
had the swashbuckling pirate all shining in perspiration as he held the lovely maiden across his arm as she gasped for his manhood.
Oh
like
my
that,
god!
You know? I mean, that goes back to back then and stuff.
But look. Okay, it's one thing if you have one franchise based off of erotic fan fiction of some bullshit. Okay,
right.
There is a second franchise about to launch in films. It's already a success in books that is based off erotic fan fiction, and it is I can't remember the title of it, but it's there is that teen band One Direction.
Yeah,
you ever heard of One Direction? Right. This lady in her 30s.
Yeah, I'll show them One Direction right to the fucking garbage. Go ahead.
This lady in her 30s wrote this erotic fan fiction about one of the members, some guy named Harry Styles. And then later, she changed the names of her erotic fan fiction, and it has become this popular book series. And now it's going to start being a movie. And I'm like, another franchise is going to be launched now based off erotic fan fiction.
You know what? I don't think there's original ideas anymore. I mean, I love superhero movies. I mean, I really do, but like, okay, it's getting monotonous already, you know? I'm waiting for Godzilla King of the Monsters, okay? Oh, and the big shout out for Godzilla animation, The Planet Eater was good. I liked it. It's a nice bonus series. Very good.
We can't talk about it. We cannot talk about it.
Yeah, I know.
But you can talk about it. I just don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, we're not going to do that to you, Zeus. We're not going to do that.
But
it's even worse, keeping me in the dark.
I need original ideas already. I'm tired of reboots and remakes and shit like that, and unoriginal ideas of an idea that was passed down from an idea. I mean, come on already. It's horrible. I mean, Hollywood's fucking eating one. It's horrible. I'll just sit back and watch the sci-fi marathon of Blade. How about that, Zeus? Yeah,
there we go.
I did watch that on Thursday night after Zeus told us about it.
Yeah, it was awesome, wasn't it?
I don't know if awesome is the word I'd use, but
awesome. That was the 3 best movies ever made.
I did get a kick out of it because I had heard Patton Oswalt's commentary on the movie, on working on that movie before, that Wesley Snipes didn't want to do stuff. He had the disputes with the director.
I mean, all this shit's legendary. All 3 films he was bitching and moaning.
Yeah, so he tried to appear in as few shots as possible, so they kept doing stuff to keep putting the stunt doubles and stuff in there. So watching the movie with that idea is hilarious because you see how much he's not actually in the movie. It's funny.
He would. I mean, I heard stories that he was mad over Ryan Reynolds getting all the funny lines, and he was calling this chick a horse humping bitch, and everybody was loving it on the set. It was funny.
Oh my God.
You're like, his Wesley Snipes was in his trailer. He was moaning and groaning. I heard so many stories about the movie, but I love all 3 Blade movies. I mean, those are ultimate popcorn movies.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a good question.
Okay.
All
right. after I think Blade 2 came out, do you remember the TV special that came out on, I think it was TBS or TNT, that was Wesley Snipes hosted as Blade the World Martial Arts Awards?
No.
Do you remember this?
For real?
No, I
don't
don't.
remember that. No.
Yes.
He was dressed in full
It
Blade
was
outfit?
it was after Blade or Blade 2 came out. And
we gotta look this up.
Yeah, man, we gotta find this.
And there is not, and this is like these lifetime achievement awards for all these fucking martial artists, and like I think they honored like Benny the Jet Urquidez. I think was the only guy I'd ever heard of. But there was a lot of old karate guys, and it was honestly, it was a lot of black guys and a lot of Asian guys. There was like, they didn't honor Chuck Norris. I'm like,
right.
How do you not honor Chuck Norris if you're doing a World Martial Arts Awards? And I think they honored Bruce Lee, but there was a lot of performance things with a lot of katas and prearranged, theater fights and some of that wushu stuff, and the different things like that in between awards. But yeah, they did like movie. They did like movie studio type shots with Wesley Snipes as Blade hosting this show.
Oh my God, I gotta find this.
Yeah, we gotta find this. That sounds crazy.
Now, I remember the Blade. I remember the Blade series on Spike TV, man.
This is way before that.
Yeah,
this
was
like during the Nitro. This was during the Nitro years.
Oh my God! Can you imagine Blade showed up on Nitro? I mean, why not? Because
RoboCop was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, RoboCop, Chucky, and Kiss. So fucking why not?
And Flair, if you think this thing, if you think you're gonna get away with it, think again, creep.
The greatest booking decision in the history of pro wrestling: Ric Flair as the Black Scorpion. End of story.
On that note,
that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. The Black Scorpion was Ric Flair. What?
Thanks, Oli.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Oli.
If I can self-promote real quick, I wanted to throw out there for everyone to check out my new webcomic on Smack Jeeves. It's called Global Girl Fight.
Oh, yes.
It's a women's wrestling.
Check it out, guys. It's good stuff.
So I think it's globalgirlfight.smackjeeves.com. You can find it on there. So I just want to throw that out real fast.
Yeah, it's good stuff, people. It's good stuff. Check it out.
Check it out. So
check it out.
We're going to take off. Y'all have anything to promote?
I got to promote this.
Yes, the new theme song that we're going to sing. We're going to sing "Don't Stop Believing" every week from here on out. Don't stop
marking out.
Mania. Pedro, Zeus, and Jimbo marking out. So brutal.
Oh my goodness. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Thanks to everybody hanging out in the chat. Zero, me, Lewis, Angie, double Y, double H. Thanks for everybody listening. Peace and love, y'all.
And happy birthday, Get the Bean. Everyone
happy
have
birthday,
a good
Bean. Peace.
Everyone have a good weekend. Adios.